Let's talk about just quickly a topic that I kind of stumbled on. So, as I was going through some F1 cards, I noticed a one of one printing plate um, that I don't really understand printing plates. So, I dug in a little bit further and asked some questions in some Facebook groups. What I found out is that, yes, they're one of one collectibles. They do have sticker autos on them. So, it's the same sticker auto that you would get on just like a serial numbered auto on a refractor or on a non-refractor or on a numbered whatever. It's the same
Hmm.
sticker auto.
Hmm.
Um, and my thought was that they could be undervalued just based on the amount of bids and the overall price on the one and the fact that it's a one of one collectible. So I did some sort of market research in some Facebook groups. And what I found was kind of 50-50. Like 50% of the people that responded said, I just don't like the way that printing plates look. And so I'm just never going to buy them. Even though it's a one of one collectible, I'm just never going to buy them. And then the other half said, oh my gosh, they're so undervalued. It's one of one. It's still an auto. It's still the same player. Like these are the most undervalued thing that you could ever possibly imagine just because of what it is. And it was undervalued in this particular case because it was an Oscar Piastri one of one. It sold for $2,325, which is
Wow.
about the same price that his just out of 299 out of 199 refractor autos that are going for slash people want for them. So it's pretty close to what his regular serial numbered autos over 99 are going for. So my thought was just to kind of get your take on that, but also let the audience know what I found. And I ended up not bidding on it further because I didn't want to own a card that possibly 50% of the market would not be interested in.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like paying the same amount as something that is more well known and more well accepted, even though there's more of them. Uh, it just didn't seem like a smart play. But what's your take on this particular topic?
Yeah, I've actually kind of had some run-ins with printing plates here recently, with discussion groups and forums that I'm a part of as well. People were talking about how they're less popular than they used to be, which even probably drives up the current prices even more. I can't imagine. I so per, so let me back up a little bit. Candidly, I'm in the product of people, or I'm in the section of people that just doesn't like the way they look. I'm personally like, I'm not really jacked about. I mean, if I got a printing plate, I'd be jacked. But I've never bid on one. I've never like sought one out. For me personally, I'd rather much more invest in 299 auto rather than the out of one, printing plate, just because for me, it looks like a faded card. And I think when you are a beginner to the hobby, um, that let me also say that I believe that a lot of price hypes, spikes in prices, typically are from new investors. Typically, if you hear investors talking, they buy when the prices are low. So when the prices are at their peak, you're typically having a new person getting involved that doesn't, or somebody who's just so not disciplined in their buying habits that they're just buying at the peak price. So with a printing plate, well, I say that to say with a printing plate, a new investor or a new somebody who's coming into the hobby who doesn't know what a printing plate is or looks like or whatever, they're going to look at that card and be like, well, that's not the one that I'm looking for. Like I don't know what's wrong with that card, and then they'll try to figure out, they might have to dig a little deeper and be like, oh, I get it. Like this is actually what they've used in the actual manufacturing process of printing the cards. Okay, that's cool. But it's like that extra step, I believe, takes that liquidity, is what Andy was talking about earlier, that, his card, he's going to take the one that's way more liquid. I think I would also side with you by saying I would take the more liquid option of the out of 299 auto, even though I mean, if there was like a holy grail card out there that I couldn't find, and then I have found a printing plate, I would be pretty interested in that. But just the regular run of the mill printing plates, I'm not in on, to be honest.
Yeah. My thought was like, okay, everything has a price. And if the price of the printing plate was about 30% of the price of the serial numbered auto over 199, I could see like for sure wanting it and like buying it. Um, Obviously if I pulled one, I'd be stoked. But yeah, like in terms of buying it and trying to win an auction or trying to make a huge play with somebody at a show or on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, like it just feels like um, you're limiting your market for how to flip that. And um, it has to be at like a 30% or a 50% of what the other card would be for me to really take part in that. But yeah, it is a one of one collectible and it is legit. There's no doubt about that. So I think it's an interesting dilemma and I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. And then I just want to make an announcement that nooffseason.com is actually growing and expanding into more of a network. So we are launching nooffseason.com, the sports card content network. And thanks to the feedback that we've had from our audience, we really appreciate the feedback. And they've basically told us that the more that we can hit and dive down deeper into each of these niches that we've been talking about. So we kind of started the show with baseball, basketball, football. Then we got into soccer. Then we've got into F1. We've talked about a little UFC on this show. We're going to talk about even more golf, hockey, tennis. We're going to talk about some wrestling cards, some celebrity cards. And I think the best way to do that is to give each one of them their own show. So over the next weeks, we will be launching a show for each of those niches with the strategy name. And Kendall is going to continue to co-host the Sports Card Strategy Show with me. That's going to be our flagship show weekly. And we will release schedule at nooffseason.com of the other shows. But congratulations to Kendall, who is going to be the host of our baseball card strategy show and our soccer card strategy show. And we will be announcing the other hosts as we line them up. But Kendall is going to host those shows, and he's going to have some guests, and I'm going to pop in from time to time and help him co-host and that kind of thing. So, Kendall, congratulations, man. We're really excited to have you help us grow out the nooffseason.com family.
Absolutely, man. I'm really excited about getting back into diving into a full-on show of one specific sport. You know, sometimes I can get on tangents really easily here. I mean, just like when I was talking about Gio Reyna earlier, I just went for it. So I'm really excited about getting this opportunity. So thanks for that, man.
Well, I'm excited and lucky to have you, and so is the audience. And so more Kendall and more niche content coming from nooffseason.com. And we want you to check out the Facebook group at sportscardstrategy.com. There's a link there to join. Please also subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel if you haven't already. There's also links to do that at sportscardstrategy.com. And please check out the Sports Card Investment Report at nooffseason.com. And you can save 20% by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON. So do that. And of course, check out marketmoversapp.com and save 20% on that wonderful product by also using the promo code NOOFFSEASON. Everybody, this has been another great episode of the Sports Card Strategy Show. Thanks again to Andy Kaysen from Football Card Quest for joining Kendall and I. Kendall McKee from not only No Off Season Sports Card Content Network, but also Wild Cards Box Breaks and JustBaseball.com. Really appreciate you. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great day.